Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So this is a video to answer some of your questions. I noticed that I have been receiving some questions on Instagram. I cannot sometimes answer all those questions one by one, even though I want to. But I am just one and I am doing quite a lot. So I would like to try my best to answer most of those questions in here, as well as some of the questions that I have received already here on my channel. I will be including them here in this video and see how I can at least tackle half of them. Okay, this video I decided to do because I tried to do those questions on Instagram on a live and it was not working for some reason. It was just not going well. As well, I put a time and nobody answered, so that's a little bit confusing when you're asking something and then you don't answer. What will be the best time for you guys for me to do that live? Is that's time that I am taking from my home, from spending time with my kid, from doing things that I have to do here in my homeschool. So it's very helpful if you guys let me know what exactly you guys are looking for. You're looking for a live where I just give you those questions, or you're looking for every time you guys have questions for me to do something like I am doing now. I like to do lives because it's more easy for me to answer at the moment. If you guys have some other questions, sometimes you have a question and then I give you an answer and it comes another question out of that answer that I just gave you guys. And it's easy for me to interact with you guys. I do like to talk to you guys, and I like when you guys make me those questions because it's just maybe it's something that I quite didn't explain very well here in my channel, or something that I haven't explained well there, and I just want to get those questions out of the way and being able to help you guys if you need the help. That is the reason why you see me constantly asking. It's more easy for me to do just a video or a live and answer everything at once than just going one by one answering those questions, because sometimes it takes a very long answer or a very long explanation to answer that question, and it's difficult to do it in here. Anyways, I am going to try to do my best. Okay, so let me just start with some of the questions, and I have them in here. So the first question is how I can work with 2 histories at a time. Well, we do like history. We enjoy history. We like to learn about what happens before, because it's obviously going to affect what is happening right now. So that is the reason why we do 2 histories at once. We really enjoy history. If your kid is not the type of kid that enjoys history, I suggest you not to do that, because it can be overwhelming, because they can get confused, because what else? Because if you're doing a lot of subjects or materials that you guys are covering in that homeschool year, history takes a good time. If you don't know how to schedule well the time, you're going to be overwhelmed by doing 2 of them. So if you are not the type of mom that enjoys history, or your kid is not the type of kid that enjoys a lot history, I suggest you not to do that. But if you are the type that enjoys history, learning about history, then you can do both at a time. What I do is I do 2 days of US history and I do 2 days of history of the world. And we are using, for US history right now, we are using learning American literature through history, and as well, I said that wrong. It's learning American history through literature, and we are using as well a story of the world when it comes to history of the world. We have as well BJU Press for history once we finish learning American history through literature. What I like about learning American history through literature is it is through literature, so it has good selections for books. I like as well that you are just concentrating in one book at once for that unit in a specific. You can select a few books as well. So we have select a few books for the different units, and that is the reason why it's taking us so long to finish with that book. As well, I like that it has suggestions for movies, and some of those movies that they are suggesting there is movies of the same books that we have read. So it's good because we're kind of like comparing the book with the movie. So it's quite interesting when it comes to that for us. So we enjoy that, and as well, it has activities. So that is something that we do enjoy as well. We haven't started BJU Press, so I cannot talk a lot about BJU Press. What got my attention about BJU Press is that first, it comes with the teacher guide separate from the student book. I can see what he's seen, and as well, I like that it has a lot of information. It has a Christian worldview, and it has more materials if you would like to add more to what you guys are already doing. And when it comes to history, since we enjoy it so much, we tend to always wanting to grab more. And that is something that is just something we really like. So if you're not that type of family, I suggest you not to do two at once and just concentrate in one at a time, especially if you're doing a lot. This year, I think we're going to handle one at a time at a certain period of our homeschool year, and then we are going to start back with the two of them. Why? Because American literature, American history, learning through the literature, I just got discombobulated now, takes quite a good time. Depends on how many books you guys are reading per unit. And that is the reason why I am going to concentrate in that one first. And then we're going to continue with A Story of the World, which it was the third book. And I have already the fourth level of A Story of the World here. And that just will help us have a better organization when it comes to the history, when it comes to that subject in our homeschool. Because I still have the BJU Press in here. And you're probably thinking, well, that's quite a lot. No, because we are not starting immediately with all of these programs. I just have them in here because some of the programs, he's already pretty much halfway through the program. Example, Matthew is another one that he is halfway through Gamma. So it's easy if I just have that in here instead of just start purchasing at the last minute for that and then having to wait, and he will have a pause in there that is not going to be convenient for us. The same thing I did with Apologia Science. Apologia Science, another one that we are working still with Flying Creatures of the Fifth Day. I tend to like science a lot, and my kid too. We like to do the projects and activities that is suggested on the Apologia Science. So it's taking us quite a long time, but I have the next science in here. Another question that I have received is why we switch from Apologias, if we enjoy so much Apologia, to master books, which is applying engineering. And the reason is that we were confused on what we wanted to do with Apologia. He wanted to do general science. Well, actually, first he wanted to do mammals. Then he wanted to do general science. And then we saw physics and we were like, oh, but I like the physics one as well. So it just gave us a time to think what we want to do first. I do like Apologia Science because it's thorough. It has good illustrations, a lot of projects to do. It has as well a journal. It's helpful. I will just make a video about Apologia Science because really we do like it. And it's something that it was just not letting us make a decision. So I knew he wanted to do applied engineering, and I knew that I was postponing that for a while. And I thought, okay, this is the time that probably I just grab the applied engineering. We can do it. It's not a long type of science. Is I think we can finish that pretty soon. And I know that with Apologias, it takes us a little bit longer because it has a lot of projects and things to do. And we tend to like to do all of them. So I'll leave it there. Okay, so this next question was, may I ask your opinion on fixed grammar versus writing with ease, or are they very different curriculums in general? The answer, I think, is that they are very different curriculums. One is straight to grammar, correct? It's just concentrated in grammar, which is fixed grammar, and one is writing. So fixed grammar, for me, what we enjoy about fixed grammar is, first, it's simple. It takes 15 minutes. And the layout of the program is a really good one, even though I still liked better the previous one, the previous edition, that it includes the advanced suggestions at the beginning, just right where the kid used to do the work. For different reasons. It's just, if they did something wrong, like a mistake, at least if they did something advanced that they didn't even know it was advanced, it served as motivation for them. With this one, you have the advanced section on the back, and if you're not constantly checking on that, then you don't know, and it's easy for you to forget to go towards the back of the book to search for that. So that is the only thing that I am not liking about the new fixed grammar. Now, I do like that there's a space for them to write the sentence right there, and I like that it continues with the same. They still have to label those parts of the speech, so it's working very well with that. I don't like that it has already how many parts of the speech they have to be searching for that specific sentence. I kind of feel like, yes, it's helping them, but at the same time, it just, I don't know how to explain that. Probably will make a video as well in regards to that later on, but I felt like the previous edition was good when it comes to that. Now, did I still enjoy fixed grammar? Obviously, we still like it. That's the reason why we continue using it, and we are about to finish the program. It's because he's been doing very well. The vocabulary parts of the fixed grammar works excellent. It's really good, and it goes very well with what we are doing with writing, because it's IW, and it's just good for that. It goes well, and I just feel like it's been working so well for us, and that's why we continue with it. The only one that he doesn't want to do, or if he's not interested in doing, is fixed grammar Little Mermaid, and I think it's because of the story per se that he's not really he doesn't want to do that one, and I understand, and I will just continue going. Okay, we have BJU English that we are going to try to do for this year. I am not sure if it's going to work well or no. For what I can see, I think it will work very well for us. I am not sure what we're going to do with the writing then, because BJU includes writing with their English. So it depends on how I see things. He likes IEW, and he likes Mr. Padua. He's funny, it's easy to do, and it goes towards, you have to follow certain steps. I do think that if your kid is a reluctant writer, fixed grammar is good, and writing from IW is good because it is a structure. And I know that some people say that IW kills the creative side of your kid because you have so much structure. It just takes that away, correct? But I don't think so. I think you still can be creative in doing IW structure and style. And you can be creative as well when you're doing the theme books. And actually there's a section where they have to do their own creative writing. The same with the structure and style at the beginning, or at least in this level that we have. They just have to write a story that it has to come from their mind, correct? And I think it depends on how you see things and what you're looking for your homeschool in particular. I suggest that for kids that have some learning problems, or that they have a very rough time with writing, I think structure and style works very well. If you think that it'll be too much because the videos tend to be a little bit long, you can divide the videos, or you can get the theme. We start with the theme books. We didn't even have the teacher training when I begin with structure and style, when I begin with the theme books from IW. I just purchase the book and follow along. The things that I notice is that people get so focused on the level that it says on the book. Okay, this is suggested for this grade or for this level, and no, I just, when my kid was already in 5th grade, I think at that moment, 4th, 5th grade, I'm not quite sure, and I start with the basic one of the theme books, meaning people and places in our community. You can do as well Bible heroes, because we were starting with something new and I wanted to see how it was going to work. Sometimes we focus so much on the grade that we forget that if it's something that is new for you, you don't want to start in the grade that is suggested for your kid. You want to at least downgrade a little bit to the point that it will just be easy for them to grasp the concept, to grasp the idea on how that program needs to be working, and then from there move on. If you see that it's too easy, you can just move on and get the level that your kid needs to be in. That's my suggestion, and that's how I do it in here. If you notice from BJU, even though I think he can be in a higher level, I decide to start with reading 4th because I think it's a new program. It gives me the chance to me as a teacher to get used to it, and as well it gives the chance for my kid to get used to how the program works, and that is very important. So I think that taking the time. What I like about physics grammar is that they are labeling the parts of the speech. It's easy for them to do. It takes no more than 15 minutes, if so. And it's just easy for them if they are going to be using something else besides just the grammar, correct? If you have a writing program that is just how you say, that takes a lot of time, then fix the grammar is like that relief from that because it's quick and easy to do. It has vocabulary. You don't need another book for vocabulary. I will talk about that. You don't need another book for vocabulary. It's just right there. And actually, if you just want to start your kid with writing, I think Fix the Grammar alone to start with is good enough because they are practicing their writing. And they are practicing how to put those sentences in the correct way. So I think that that's my view when it comes to that. Writing with ease is easy in a sense that it goes more towards the auditory because you are just dictating sentences to them and they have to copy them. So it works very well with the auditory. So if your kid has some type of problems with like auditory processing disorder, Writing with Ease will be the program. I think it works very well when it comes to that. So for them to be listening to you constantly, how to pronounce those words and how to put the sentence, you are dictating to them, so it's training the ear. And it's good as well for writing, obviously, because it doesn't have that much for them to do. It's kind of like a gentle approach in that sense. But remember that you are dictating, and if your kid is not good when it comes to dictation, then that could be a point for frustration as well. So you have to be a little bit careful when it comes to that. That's my point of view when it comes to those two. And actually, I have a book in here that we haven't used. I purchased and it's still here. It's the second level of Writing with Ease. I can give you a flip through if you guys want. I'll show you guys very quick. And I think that's what I am going to do. Give me just one second. I have Writing with Ease level 2, and I purchased this program and I didn't use it with my kid. He was just a little bit bored when it comes to the stories. Some of the stories were not obviously complete because they just give you like a little preview of the story. so to speak, a narration of the story for the kid to be able to work with their writing. And he was just getting upset that he didn't got the entire story from some of them, that he was feeling interested about it. So this is how it works. Let me just use my glasses. You have the story. See, hopefully you can see there. I don't know if that is helpful here. So you have the story there. And after you guys read the story, the narration exercise, and it gives you day 1, day 2, day 4. So you have day 1, that was day 1. You have day 2. You have day 3 here. Some of them are short, some of them are long. And that's day 3 there, just that little piece there. And then you have day 4. I can give you guys a very well detailed flip through and probably show you better, because it's difficult to do it in the way that I am doing it right now. And this video will take forever. And some of them are quite long. So this is another lesson already. So if you see, the story is pretty long there. It's pretty long. So, and what they do after that is that each day they are going to have something to do to write, or a dictation exercise, writing dictation exercise. So example, you get one of those weeks, and let me just look at one of the ones that I just showed you guys. I think that was week 33. Let's go to 33. So that's almost at the end of the book, week 33. So that is the reason why you see that the stories are advancing as well. Okay, so this is week 33. And on the back of the book is where the kid is going to have everything, all the pages that he or she is going to need for answering, to work with that lesson. So that is how it looks. And it goes through dictations. If you notice, it says dictation exercise. So they get the story, and they get a sentence from there. And you're going to dictate that sentence to your kid as a teacher to your kid. And they will just write it in that space that is provided on the back of the book. And if you notice, this is a good example of those sentences. So some of them can be short and some of them can be quite long. Remember, this is the second book, level 2. And we did level 1. It was working very well, actually, and I did like it. He was not liking the fact that he was not able to get the entire story and that it was just narrated. So that was frustrating him a little bit for some of the stories that he was showing some interest. And I think that's the reason why we stopped that. But it's an easy book. It's just as it states, writing with ease is easy. It's an easy approach, and I think it's gentle. It goes more towards the auditory. Now, dictation can be a point for frustration for some kids, because remember, you have to train the ear for that, and for them to be able to retain what you're telling them, what you are dictating to them, for them to be able to write that. And it gives you a certain amount of times that you can just repeat that sentence, because the idea is that they can, you're training your kid to retain that as well. I think that is a good program as well if you want to help your kid when it comes to note taking. So that's what I will say, that is the difference. What I like about IW is that it's very well structured, and you have to they have to follow that and make sure that everything that is suggested there, they have to add in that story. So it makes them write a story that is very well written. And I am not saying that they don't do this with these, but obviously it's a different approach. One is more like I said, towards the auditory, and one is more you just following certain steps. And in creating that story. So if your kid is one kid that is lacking a structure, IEW, I will say would work. And if your kid is one that is just, you just want to start practicing the writing with them, and you just want something that is more gentle, but at the same time is training their ears, I think Writing with Ease will be your choice. I like Writing with Ease because if you notice, it's just this book and it seems gentle. I actually like Writing with Ease. That is not the reason why I changed. And I think at some point I might even try to go back to Writing with Ease as a way to have him practicing when it comes to the auditory. And I think if I would have just continued with it, it would work very well for us when it comes to that. And when it comes to the fact that just training the ear to retain as well information, because sometimes what I notice with him is that sometimes if I do something related to another material that we have in here and I have to dictate to him, he tends to repeat, oh, so what did you just said? What did you just said? Sometimes a few times for him to be able to complete whatever sentence, or I have to write it in the dry erase board. And this is pretty much helping your kid to retain whatever it is that you're dictating to them in order to be able to transfer that to the page that they need to be writing that in. Hopefully that helps. So that is the difference for me. I do like both programs, and I probably, if he wouldn't complain about the fact that it was just the narration of the story, would have continued with it. And but when it comes to grammar, I like Fix It Grammar. Fix It Grammar for me is the best program out there. I feel like it is a complete program, and I feel like it's just 15 minutes and that's it. And he's doing very well when it comes to grammar. He's really, really good at grammar. And vocabulary, I think Fix It Grammar and all we have done that includes vocabulary is been helping him so much that I see the benefits on that right there. And we have enjoyed that. And Fix It Grammar, well, they're constantly writing as well. So if you want me to be honest, they're practicing their writing and they are practicing their penmanship when it comes to manuscript. Or if you have your kid just doing it in cursive, well, they're practicing their cursive, depends on how they do it. So you kind of have an all-in-one in there, if you want me to be honest, when it comes to that, when it comes to the writing part. So that's my 2 or 3 cents or whatever you call when it comes to writing. Another question that I received is why I don't show my kids so much on my videos. Well, I just want to respect his privacy. When I decide to create a YouTube channel, it was for me to actually help moms to know that they can do it as well, and that we can just motivate each other and encourage each other, not so much to show my kid on camera. And yes, I have done it on a very rare occasion, and usually I show him, his back, and that's it, because I want to respect his privacy. I didn't create this channel to be showing my kid constantly. I think that's not the idea. And I mean, if you do that, you have a channel and you do that, I respect that. That's not going to be the case in here. I might show him here and there, and you will see probably his back, and that's about it. And I think I will leave this question right there. The next question I received was in regards to the Bible. We were doing the Bible Made Easy, which is this book. It works very well for us, but we finished already, so we are not using it. It's simple. It goes through the entire Bible. It has some drawings here and there, and I really did enjoy it. Let me see. I have it here. This is the author. You can see it right here. It's a very simple book. It cost, I think it was $8 by the time I purchased. It was like $8 and something. And they asked me as well, which Bible they use for the verses, and this is the New International Version, NIV is what they used. But I use an ESV Bible and a King James Version Bible when I look for the Bible verses suggested in here and from where we were having to read, and I didn't have any troubles with that. Now the program that we are using is Answers in Genesis, which goes more towards apologetic, and I have the level 2 here. Let me just show you guys. This is the student book, and this is actually the teacher guide. So this is the teacher guide, and this is Answers Homeschool Edition Bible Curriculum. This is level 2, Moses and Hosea, and it's been working very well for us, and we are going to continue hopefully until we finish the 4 levels. We are currently on level 1, on year 1, and once we finish year 1, we are almost halfway. We're going to start year 2 without pausing. It's just completely going forward, and I would like to continue the 4 levels. I already know what Bible curriculum we're going to be using once we finish this one. It's already purchased. I don't have, God bless you, I don't have to be searching around. I already have it, and after that one I already have what we want to use as well. So I have already all that very well planned, because it's another type of material that we really enjoy, and it's our time with God and time to be learning about God. So I think that's very, very important. So I took a very careful time on selecting the Bible programs that we were wanted to do. So far this is working very well, and we're going to continue with it. So that's for Bible. And I think I received another question. Let's see if I remember what it was. I received quite a few questions. I just have them here and there because not all were coming from my Instagram. Okay, so another question that I was asked was, when it comes to readers, how do I decide on which readers to use? Well, first we are using Learning American History Through Literature that suggests some books in there, short readers as well as chapter books. And so we are just guiding ourselves from that book as of right now when it comes to history books. When it comes to the rest of the books, I just have books that I consider will be good for read alouds, and books that I consider that is good for him to use as independent readers. First, because they are fun. I know he's going to like to read them. And second, because I think that since he's starting to come to finish from all about reading, it will be best for him to use those books, and to practice more, go at a gentle pace when it comes to the chapter books, even though he can read chapter books very well. But I think he needs a little bit more practice when it comes to his fluency when reading and his comprehension. So for comprehension, BJU Press, I think, is the best. And just to practice his fluency, I think just reading books will be the best. When it comes to vocabulary, that is something that I will be talking very soon. He did have a test for this homeschool year. We did do a standardized test, and that's another video that I would like to do. That's one of the questions that I received as well. So yes, we did some. I had him taking a standardized test, so I got the answers from that, and that is the reason why I can tell that what I've been doing in here is working very well. Very well. I leave it there. I have other questions. Those were going to take a little bit longer to answer, so I don't think I will be able to add them in here because this video is already taking long, and some of them I will leave because I would like to do a separate video for those specific questions. I think it's going to be helpful, especially for that question when it comes to the writing. I think that those videos that are going to come next will be very helpful for you guys as well. When it comes to the standardized test, that is something that will be helpful as well if I just create a separate video that will just dedicate in a specific to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you find it helpful. If you did, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That's the way you support my channel. If you just share, like, and click that notification bell so you don't miss every time I upload a video. That is something that is helping me as a mom here that is working hard to bring you guys these videos. I am just one, and it takes me time. This is a time. I am not getting paid, guys. My channel is a small channel, if you guys notice, and it's just helping me to grow my channel. And as well, you're supporting my channel when you do that. Just click that like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if this video is being helpful. Or if you have other questions that you would like me to answer, just leave them down below. If you have some suggestions or something you would like to see on my channel, make sure that you add those comments there. That's how you help me helping you. So I hope you guys enjoy this. See you then. Happy homeschooling. Bye.